I would like to invite you to watch a video of whole process of building a top bar hive. I will include the plans for the hive in the description of the video. If for some reason this link stop works, let me know and I will send it to you on email directly. The whole hive was made from 8 1/4-inch boards 6 foot long, plus 3 boards of the same length with the triangle profile, feather edge boards for the canopy. The boards were purchased unfinished, dried, planed and milled with the overlapped on the edges to avoid any gaps when assembling. After the processing, I built the sides of the hive from the first 4 boards. Then I made trapezoidal front and rear walls from the rest. All the boards are joined with the step cutter, turned to avoid water leaking into the hive during the rain. The longer edges of the side walls should be sloped so that there are no rims sticking out after joining with the trapezoidal walls, which I partly cut with the bandsaw and then even it out with the abrasive disc sander. All walls are connected with carpenter's glue and screwed to the bars holding the sides wall construction. The bars are placed at the right length from the end of the walls, so that after connection there is a 1-inch ledge as the cover and the landing place for the bees. At the bottom of the trapezoidal walls, the inlet will be cut out. Practically, the main part of the hive is ready at this point. Yes, I know, it brings to mind a bit of the coffee. Never mind. Inside, in the middle of the side walls, I am fitting double bars. This will reinforce the wall structure, and between them, a queen bee excluder will be fitted. I will fix this later. The last part of the hive is the bottom. As with the rest of the element, it is made of the same boards, joined by the glue and screwed with the bars underneath. In this part I decide to cut ventilation holes, in which the nets will be placed. In order to do so, I have to mill the edge for it. These vents will be covered by additional movable boards on the underside if necessary, which I get to it shortly. Finally, assembling the underside with the walls using the glue and screws. From the inside, I screw on the bars in the middle, which the queen bee excluder will be inserted. So we have the main body ready. I now proceed to build the canopy. The side edges will be on the triangle base shape, sized to fit the width of the hive. 2 extended triangles and 2 bars make the structure. The canopy structure is covered with the feather edge overlapping boards. These boards can be different dimension. In my case, they are a 6-inch wide. I used 3 boards of 6 foot length for the canopy. The top edge is a finishing board for the fence panels. It has a triangle cross section, and to make it fit better, I have milled it from underneath. In the final stage, the canopy is attached to the hive by 2 hinges. A rope, screwed from the inside, holds it at the correct opening angle. I drilled large holes in the side walls of the hive as additional inlets. The holes in the canopy will be covered with the mesh and used as a ventilation. Finally, I seal any gaps, staples on the mesh and screws in the canopy with putty. The whole forms a nice combination and please the eyes with its aesthetics. The next stage is the construction of the hive stand. It is made from boards that I have left over from the construction. The stand will not be integrated into the hive. I decide that it will be a mobile structure, which can be easily disassembled and transported even in a small car. It will be assembled from 5 elements and bolted together with a few screws. The elements are fitted to the hive and to each other beforehand, and then assembled with the glue and screws. In the ventilation holes from the bottom of the hive, as I mentioned before, I will install the boards as sliders. They will be able to be slit-shoot for the winter or when needed. Since I wanted the boards to be slidable, I have to mill out the spaces for them. The planking, as you can guess, will also have a mill on the edges to fit into the rails. Next, I make nets frames to protect the bottom vents. These are 2 frames made of wood and covered with the aluminum mesh. I decided to do them removable to make it easier to clean up any dirt from the hive. In the meantime, I'm making the inlets close. To do this, I installed pieces of the pre-milled bar to hold the shooters. Before glue on the frames dries, I will cut 4 dividers for the hive out of 5 mm thick plywood. Then I will drill holes in 2 of them and insert a mesh for ventilation. The hive will have viewports on the side with lockable flaps, so as not to disturb the bees. You will be able to look into the hive at any time without having to open it and pull out the bars. The viewports will of course be fitted with glass. The glasses will be sealed with putty on the outside only, so that can be replaced more easily in case of damage. The flaps closing the viewports are milled on the edges to fit tightly into the glass windows. In fact, I can call them shooters. I decide that the hive will be made of wood whenever possible, so the assembly of them will be made of oak wood brackets to avoid cracks. They are designed to be easy open. What remains is make excluder frame, which will have ventilation holes secured with mesh on the side top bars. The plastic of the grill itself is cut from the original rectangular piece of standard hives, sewn together and tackled at the frame. Assembly of everything is still to come. The beehive is protected from the outside with good quality wood varnish. The stand on other hand, is painted with the waterproof paint. On the inside, the beehive is covered with the melted bee wax containing propolis, which gives it an excellent protective coating and the smell attracts the bees. I melt the wax using the electric heater and spread it with a natural brush. The hive does not have typical frames, but bars on which the bees create wax combs. Every second bar has a slot into which a wax foundation can be inserted. The hive stand, as I mentioned, is not integrated. It's made of 5 elements, each painted separately. It can be folded and unfolded when transported even in a small car, and it takes not even a minute to assemble. And here is how the whole works. As I mentioned, I drilled ventilation hole in 2 of the separation boards, secured with the mesh. In the picture you can see how the ventilation in the hive works. Bees in this arrangement do not have access to the partition above the roof, so you can easily open it without the risk of them attacking right away. And here are all the components and their assembly into the hive. It is possible to move the panels around. And here is the complete hive. There is still the assembly of the closure for the additional inlets, made of oak. That's all. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, leave the thumb up and see you soon in the next one. Cheers!